Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sara Lubratt. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing the Authortube Newbie Tag 2.0. The first question of this tag is, what's your book's pitch? If you have multiple works, choose your favorite. And guess what? I do have multiple works. My current project is called DE. It is the abbreviation of the original name that I gave it because the original name is no longer relevant to the story. And so I call it DE, that's its current title. The book is still being written, and so this pitch is not official or final in any means, but here we go. DE is a new adult high fantasy told from 4 points of view. Our first point of view is from the point of view of a warrior who's a coward, who's going back to assist the kingdom that she was raised in but then was kicked out of. And so she's finally getting to go back after the princess has become queen after her father, the king, died. The next 2 points of view are from sisters. The first one is the younger sister who gets hijacked, and the older sister chases her younger sister across the continent. And the fourth point of view is from a character that has been asleep for a very long time, so he's much older than the rest of the characters. The book follows these 4 characters as the darkness descends on the continent, and we get to see like the chaos that ensues. This book has a lot of family issues, dragons, of course, magic, mind control a little bit, and LGBTQ plus characters. And while DE is my main project, I also have several others. I'm including one finished rough draft of a 70,000 word young adult dystopian. And my goal is to start going back over that and editing it and maybe rewriting it, because it probably needs a rewrite after the rough draft of DE is done. And the title of that young adult dystopian is, I call it LRF. Again, a title that is no longer relevant, and so I just took the abbreviation, and that's what I go by. I also, in addition to DE and LRF, I have 3 back burner projects, which are mostly in the brainstorming phase. I have a new adult or adult sci-fi, I haven't really figured that one out yet, another new adult dystopian, and an adult femme fatale. The adult sci-fi I call CBH. The adult dystopian I call CF, and the adult femme fatale is just FF for femme fatale. So that's how I come up with my titles. Question number 2, what do you usually write? I normally write science fiction, fantasy, and dystopian from what I just said, or some combination of the above. The audience that I normally write for is young adult / new adult. New adult seems to be my current favorite, and I wonder if that's just because of the stage of life that I'm in. Or question number 3, what's something you will never write? And I would have to say currently I could not see myself ever writing horror, just because I don't read it, I don't watch it. I can do like thriller and suspense, but I don't think that I could ever like write true horror. And that's not saying that I don't want to put in aspects of thriller, horror, or suspense, and I do that a little bit, but mostly I could never see myself writing horror. Question 4, what's your goal for your AuthorTube channel? I made my AuthorTube channel because I've been watching them for a while. I really enjoy watching them. I like watching other people be creative and productive, and so I wanted to do that as well. So I joined AuthorTube for the community, the support, the accountability, and just this community of supporting other creative people. Question 5, what made you want to start writing? And I've got to say that I've always written. I have stories to tell, and even if the things that I write never actually get published, I got to tell them to myself and enjoy the creative process, and I think that that's completely worth it. I do and did really enjoy reading when I was growing up, but every book that I would read included dragons in some form or another. Not like everything, but that's the stuff that I liked reading, was books about dragons and magic and all of the above. That's what I like to write about now. My mom actually just finished redoing the bookshelf here, and so I'm going to take you over to the dragon shelf. It's behind the ladder here, and not all of the ones up here are obviously dragons, but these 3 books by Jessica DeGeorge were some of the ones that really made me fall in love with dragons and books about dragons. Question number 6 is, what's your publishing path? Self-publishing, traditional publishing, hybrid, haven't decided yet, or just writing for fun? I mean, I'm definitely writing for fun with the intent of someday publishing, and I would like, as I think like most people, want to be traditionally published, but I'm not opposed to being a hybrid author. I actually think that that could work really well for some of my stories that I'm currently brainstorming, just because they haven't fallen into like a traditional category yet. But for DE and LRF, I do think that traditional publishing would do the best for them. Question number 7 is, what content do you bring to the AuthorTube table? I've been avoiding making this AuthorTube tag video for a while, and partially because I knew this question was on there and I was kind of avoiding it because I didn't really know yet. But I've started making some videos. I have about 10 or 11 videos up before this one, and what I've really enjoyed making are writing vlogs primarily and world building videos. Actually, my first writing vlog video that I put up on YouTube was my writing 200,000 words video, which is the one where I reached 200,000 words in my project DE. And since then, I've done Life After 200K, which is when I edited and reorganized and basically went through and read everything that wasn't in chapter form of those 200,000 words that were spread across like 22 documents, and I got those 22 documents down to 10. And so just really working on like helping myself in doing that. And I made a video about writing playlists and poetry, and then I made a video about writing as like a creative writing student and what I wrote for my workshops. And then the video that I made before this one was Pantser Tries Plotting Like J.K. Rowling. And I have always thought of myself as a pantser, not a plotter, until I got stuck after the 200,000 words in DE, and I needed to plot, and I needed to outline, and I needed to like just take a step back essentially and look at the big picture for where DE was going. And so I made that video, and it really, really helped me just try to like look at my project as it was and not in like the tiny like little portions that I had been looking at it. And so it just gave me like a new perspective on it, and so I really enjoyed that. So I think that world building videos and writing vlogs are my favorite to film and will likely be what is most often on my channel. Question number 8 is, what's your biggest writing struggle? I would have to say, as I just mentioned, my like 200,000 word videos that I did is the marathon of the middle, the writing of the middle of a story, and DE is especially hard just because of the scope and how massive this book is, or how massive this story is. I'm not calling it a book because I assume that it's going to naturally find breaks for different stories, and then when I go back and edit it, I will make those like the book breaks stronger, and I don't know how many books that will fall into yet, but if I'm not done at like 218,000 words now, it's not going to be one book. So I definitely struggle with the middle the most. Question number 9 is, what's your best writing skill? I'm gonna have to go ahead and say world building. It's the thing that I've enjoyed the most. I've also, one of the world building videos that I've made is a map making video, and so I got to figure out like where everything was situated from doing that, and it helped me plan out where my book was going, where my characters were literally traveling to, how long it was going to take them to get there, how long it made sense. And so it really just clarified some things, and in doing that I also got to like distinguish certain kingdoms and lands from one another and give each of them like a society and a culture and secrets and creatures and cultures and like traditions and festivals. And so I really enjoy the little things that make this story so much more real and feel just really in depth. And it's the thing where like I do a lot of world building, and it's the iceberg thing, and it's the iceberg mentality or whatever. So you like build an entire iceberg but only like 10% of it shows, and then the other 90% is underneath. And it's all about how the 90% helps you as a writer build that world and then it like helps influence even the way that you like word things. And it just makes the world feel so much more in depth. And so I'd have to say like world building is my strength. All right, question number 10 is, if you're new to AuthorTube, what is your biggest AuthorTube question? I'm curious about live write-ins. I'm not really sure what my question is, but like how do you get started doing them? If any other people on AuthorTube are watching this, I'd really appreciate if you could like leave a comment down below on like how you decided to do your first one, like who you decided to do it with. Did you do your first one solo or with somebody? Like why did you decide to do a live write-in? Because I find that concept really interesting, but I have not yet done one. I've attended others, but I haven't hosted one. Question number 13 is, are you looking for any new channels to follow, betas, CPs, or other types of writer buddies? If so, tell us who you're looking for and connect with them in the comments. I mean, I'm always looking for new channels to follow, especially AuthorTube channels. I am or will be looking for betas and a critique partner soonish, hopefully, and it would be fun to have somebody to like bounce ideas off of. And so I'm kind of open to anything, but I will eventually need beta readers and a critique partner. And then the last question is, what are you most excited for during this new fresh start on AuthorTube? I would have to say that I kind of mentioned this in a previous question, but community support and accountability. And I've seen a lot of AuthorTubers supporting one another. I've also seen issues, but I've seen a lot of people supporting one another. And I just find that really fantastic because I'm almost done with school, so I don't really know where I'm going to find my writer friends now. And so hopefully AuthorTube will be able to like help me out with that. All right, that's it from me for this video. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you left a like or a comment down below. If you would like to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next Monday with another video.